Hello, I'm John from off-road.cc and I'd like to welcome you to the inaugural event of Kit in the Kitchen, which, as the name suggests, is where I go through all the latest kit that's arrived in the off-road office in my kitchen. Anyway, today's episode has got a particular theme, seeing as it's horrible and wintry outside. Yes, it's winter boot time, and I've got a whole load of winter boots from a whole load of different people to run through. I think we'll start off with the brightest first. This is the Bontrager, I believe it's the JFW, and it's £170. And as you can see, it's very bright. I think they also do a black coloured version of this. And it's kind of like a bit like a traditional kind of cross-country-ish style shoe, obviously with big extended neoprene bootie, nice neoprene toe cap there. Zipped entrance there, a little waterproof zip bit. Yeah, these look quite interesting. It's nice to see like a bow on a lot of this stuff, because generally you don't want to be messing with straps when your fingers are all frozen and cold, as they often are. Obviously on the bottom, fit a cleat there. Obviously you're going to do that. You can fit some big old toe studs there if you really want. It's got a nice deep aggressive tread. Yeah, looking forward to trying these out. Next up, for any old school ramblers out there, are these Lake boots. Lake are basically like the big daddy of anything to do with like winter boots. They've got a massive range of them, everything from like pretty much subarctic to sort of like just kind of like waterproof hiking style things. Obviously these do have a proper cleat hole there. Vibram sole, again I really like them, I really like the look. But they are like fully waterproof. This is proper leather. It's all nicely sealed there. Again, they've got laces, that bit's sealed up there. They've even got a toe clip there for a gaiter. Can you imagine going riding your bike in gaiters? Hopefully I'll be able to do that soon. I'll do that. But anyway, these are the MXZ 200s, and they will set you back £190. But they smell just like a shoe shop. Not a fetish thing, honest. Sticking with Lake, these are like some really serious boots, as you can see from that there. Like it's got a little ice symbol on it, so you know that you're going to be cold when, no, not cold when you're wearing them, because it's going to be cold outside. Again, similar deal with Boa. It's got an ankle strap there. Oh my god, they are like properly insulated. Look, like there's a inner neoprene bootie, outer neoprene bootie. That's all waterproof leather. Again, the sole is actually sealed off completely, so you're not going to get anything that comes in from the cleat hole. Big old toe stud things there. And what I should point out, I should missed with the 200s, is they've got really cool insoles. Yeah, see, the insoles are aluminised, so you can probably might just be able to see like the shiny metally bit. And that's designed to reflect your foot's heat back onto it. And if you look at the back, it's like lifted off. So the idea is that there's a bit of an air gap there, so you shouldn't transfer as much heat through to the sole of the boot, therefore keeping your toes toasty. The other thing that Lake does is that they cut their boots pretty slack for winter boots, because they know that you're going to be wearing more socks than you would normally. So they just make them a bit bigger generally. And the other thing that they do is, if you do have wide feet anyway, they do both of these shoes in a wide fit. So if you've got big flippers instead of feet, you should still be able to get a good comfy fit, even once you're wearing all of your winter socks. Now we'll move on to something that's a little less rich for the blood, and this is a brand I've not actually heard very much of. It's FLR. Brought into the country by Chicken and Sons, I believe. And this is their winter boot. It's called the Defender. As you can see, sort of like rubberised lower there. This kind of tough nylon here. Again, another neoprene little bootie around the cuff, so you should be able to wrap that cuff up nice and tight. And again, like big pulling cord there. These come in at a much more reasonable £130. So if you want to keep your feet warm, but you don't want to empty your wallet at the same time, it'll be really interesting to see how these pan out. Of course, that's the downside of winter boot testing, is that I need to go out and make myself deliberately miserable and cold. not actually that hard at this time of year. Finally, there's the other sort of winter shoe, one that I actually generally prefer because you can fit big socks in them, fit waterproof socks in them. You usually take your feet off because you're sliding all over the place anyway. Yes, flat pedal shoes. This is the new Shimano GR5. I think it's actually just a bit of an update to one of their other shoes. But yeah, as you can see, flat pedal. It's got one of the new Vibram, so I think it's a Vibram sole. Oh, maybe it isn't. It's not branded Vibram. What am I wrong with them? Onto the Michelin stuff now. Either way, the big thing with any sort of flat pedal shoe is that its sole needs to be soft. Behold, the durometer meter, or durometer, who knows. So yeah, you can use this like testing tires, and you can see how soft rubber is. So on this, I think we're coming up at about 70. Let's see if that. Yeah, 65 to 70. That's like quite a hard compound tyre. For comparison, a set of 510s, which are like the benchmark when it comes to squidgy rubber, they're around a 40 durometer. So it'll be interesting to see just how grippy these are. I mean, like with all Shimano shoes, they're looking really well made. They always are. And these are also a bit more affordable than your 510s at £80 a pair. Now, something to do with feet, but a little bit more left field, is I heard of these guys quite a while ago, and when I heard of it, Pedaling Innovations and their Catalyst pedal, I wasn't quite sure what was really going on, and I think when I show you the pedal you'll probably understand why. Look at the size of it. It is massive. Compared to like a normal pedal, which is probably about that sort of size, these things are right whoppers. Yeah, so I've got to say I was a bit doubtful, but someone I know got in touch and said, you've got to try these things, they are absolutely amazing. If you ride flat pedals, they are brilliant. And lo and behold, guys from Pedaling Innovations then got in touch, and we got set into test. I usually ride flat pedals pretty much all the time. The only time I use clips is if I'm going kind of cross-country distance riding or out on the gravel bike. So yeah, apparently these promise kind of a better foot position simply because you've got a lot more foot, or yeah, a lot more foot in contact, so there's less kind of like hot spotting on your shoe. The only thing I wonder about is because usually with a flat pedal, you kind of get a bit of grip from having your foot curved around it. So I do wonder what will happen with these, but like I say, I'm going to get keen to give them a go to see if they are a genuine pedalling innovation or if they're just pedaling something else. Yeah, give that a go, it's nice. Nextly, if you're a mountain biker of a certain era, then the Crud guard will have a strong place in your heart. It's basically everyone had them on their bikes, all the pro downhillers, everyone in the street. Used to work in a bike shop and we sold so many of them, they were sort of downshift mounted. But this, behold, is their latest guard. This is the XL fender, and as you can roughly see from it, it's designed to fit onto your fork legs on the inside, sits under the crown, like most of the new generation of sort of big fenders. But this one's got some slightly different features from a load of those, namely that it's got this wibbly rubber bit here and a little bit there. And I think the idea behind this is that it's still going to like capture all the mud that's flapping around. It's kind of arced down, so it should direct it down. But also, if you get like big stones or big lumps of mud chucking there, it's not going to clog up because this thing can like bend out the way and move. Yeah, it's got some other nice little features as well. Sort of like it's not contacting too much around the crown there, so hopefully it shouldn't rub. And also in here, it's got these little foam pads. Because that's the thing that tends to happen with some of the plastic guards, is they don't sit particularly. They can kind of move about, so if you catch them then they'll drag like buggery. Not so good. They can also damage your fork legs, whereas these are sort of pre-shaped and they've got a bit of foam to help them seat. So I'm actually really interested to give this a go and see if Crud guards are going to get back on top of their game in the mountain bike world. That'd be interesting to see. What else have we got? Well, final things that we'll sign off on are yes, frame protectors. It's miserable out there. Everything's made out of grinding paste, assuming you live in the UK. So yeah, it's probably the time to put some frame protection on your bike if you haven't already. We've been sent these lizard skin ones. There's some little ones there. There's like a frame kit here for doing your tie bikes. There's like a big one for your down tubes, and little bits for various other places, like around your head tubes, stop the cables rubbing, chain stays, and I've also got some very small ones if you just want to do your cables. Behold. Right, other exciting things, technology. So Specialized has just released some new hats, and this is the ambush version of it, and uses their Angie, I assume that's how you say it, or Angie technology, that basically has a little sensor in it that detects when you've had a crash via a smartphone app. Look there. So you have a smartphone app, you link it to that, and then if it detects that there's been like a big event, e.g. you've battered your head or something, it will then automatically call an emergency contact unless you cancel the phone call within a certain amount of time. So yeah, that looks really interesting, because obviously if you've knocked yourself unconscious on the trail somewhere, you aren't exactly going to be calling anyone to help you. So it's a really interesting bit of tech. Obviously it's going to be a bit hard to test it out without actually battering your head, but I'm sure we'll come to it. Generally like the ambush lid anyway. It's a nice little enduro lid. This one's got the newer version of MIPS in it. Can't really see it, but it's there. And yeah, I'm a big fan of the ambush helmet. They also do this on a load of other of their lids. So yeah, really interesting tech, I reckons. Yeah. Anyway, that takes us to about it for this week's edition of Kit in the Kitchen. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, make sure you give this video a like, and if you really like everything that we've done, then make sure you subscribe so you get more videos like this. Thanks, bye.